So today we'll be talking about Take Control's new feature, that's MSP Anywhere. So today, me, Arsh Singh, I'm the new technical support engineer at Soft Solutions. Before Soft Solutions, I worked at Concentrix. I was a network technician there and a Tier 1 technical advisor for just about 2 years. And today I'll be going over, we'll be looking at MSP Anywhere. It's mobile support, and I'll be demonstrating the panel, the console for MSP Anywhere as well. If you guys have any sort of questions regarding pricing or sales side, Tyrone will be happy to answer that after the webinar. So today's content, we'll go over the overview of TeamViewer, MSP Anywhere, a couple of new features of MSP Anywhere, and then I'll go through the demonstration of MSP Anywhere, and then we'll have a question and answer session if we have time. So TeamViewer, it has been a fan favorite for a long time. It was just what we got used to. There was not much of an option we had back then, but now we do. So what really happened with TeamViewer was there was not much of there was not much evolution in that product itself. There were a couple of development bugs in the new updates, and that's what led to the database compromise. By that I mean the hack, which happened, I believe, last year. Even a couple of companies in New Zealand were affected by the hack. So we needed change. So that's where enters the big dog. So MSP Anywhere, that's the newcomer. It's a brand new technology. Well, not really brand new technology. Before it was owned by SolarWinds. It was called Be Anywhere. It was an independent company, but after being owned by SolarWinds MSP, it has been part of the Enable members. It's been part of that for a long time, and it's been ranked one of the best features of Enable. With MSP Anywhere, there are tons of new features. It's more stable, and it's going to continue to evolve rapidly. It's owned entirely by SolarWinds, so it gives us total control over the product. So if before with TeamViewer, if you had any sort of issues, SolarWinds actually had to go to the TeamViewer, a third-party company, to actually solve that. Whereas with MSP Anywhere, it was all at home. A couple of new features with MSP Anywhere. We have support for Mac. So by that I mean, before with TeamViewer, as most of us know, we as IT technicians, we couldn't remote from a Mac, whereas in MSP Anywhere we can do that. We can remote from a Mac to a Mac, from a Mac to a Windows, vice versa, and from a Mac to different operating systems as well. These following are a couple of new features in MSP Anywhere. We can reboot, emergency reboot, restart, shut down our client, remote client. We can laser pointer, remote cursor. We can go view only. Port forwarding we can do if our remote client has a couple of remote services, like they have a SQL server or they have a FTP server. I will go over that in the demonstration. And this is what I mainly want to focus at, the mobile support. With MSP Anywhere, SolarWinds has actually made 2 apps. That's for iOS and Android. They're not leaving out any. So this is the link. If you guys want to just email me after that, and I'll show you this. I'll go over this link as well. So this is the app, name of the app, MSP Remote Monitoring and Management. You can just type SolarWinds MSP in the search section of your App Store or Google Store. And you should be able to see the app. So I'll just go over the app a little bit. So first, so this is the iOS version I'm talking about, and the Android version is 98% same. So there's not much difference at all. So let's talk about how to remote from your mobile. So first of all, we need to download the app. This is what it will look like in the App Store, MSP Remote Monitoring and Management. After you download it, when you run the app, you'll see the normal, the default login, same as we log in our dashboard. MSP, just enter your dashboard credentials, your username and password, and just go ahead and hit sign in. This is what you will see next. On the left, the first photo, this is the first screen you'll see after you log in. You'll have your host, you'll cup all your clients, your sites in there. As in the photo, we can see servers, and the green are the checks which have passed, and the red checks are which have failed. It actually shows like a good number of checks which have failed in red. If we tap on any of those, like in this case, let's tap on host. That's the second photo. It gives us the device details. As you can see, the client, the site, the operating system, agent version, and so on. So it's a pretty good, pretty good information all under our fingers, and it's very easy to access just from your phone. It's pretty easy to use. You can also see the checks when you scroll down a bit more. You can see a couple of checks which have failed or which have passed. We can also filter by problem servers. The far left photo. We can also, the top right, you can see the filter. You can always do that as well. And you can also, if you tap on the bottom, as you can see the bottom side of the app, you can see problems, which we were looking at before. Now if we click on clients, you can actually choose servers or workstations. And that just shows a list of clients, and let's go next. So how do we connect to our dashboard from our phone, iPhone or Android? So if we go to device details, if you guys remember the first page, if you click on device details, you click on that, the top right, and that will ask you to install another app. It's a very small size app. You install it and you run that app, and you will see on the left photo, you will see PC is ready to receive TCP connections and a couple of other messages. And on the right photo, that will be the first that will be the page you'll see after you have connected to the remote client from your phone. First is the details or chat page. You can message. Your remote client, and then if you click on the remote desktop, this is the desktop. This is the remote desktop you see. So you can see the whole client remote desktop from your phone. Couple of taps away, and you are remoting into a computer. You do have a couple of features on the left side. You can see the lock, keyboard settings, and full screen, the last one. It's very easy to use, and it's very basic. You do not need like a manual to go through all this. You can have a couple of commands as well from your fingertips away. It's Control Alt Delete Start. You can all these commands from your phone to a remote client, and the remote client can be a Mac as well. It doesn't have to be Windows. And when you're in the session, it'll actually ask you to, if you guys want to end the session. Today we won't be going over the mobile app. I'll be taking you over the MSP Anywhere console. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's go here. As you can see, that's my dashboard. All you need to do, of course, I'm sure you guys know how to change from TeamViewer to MSP Anywhere. Just go right click, edit server, and on top left you go remote access. Make sure it's on, and from TeamViewer just click on MSP Anywhere. And just to double check if it's already done, click on summary. You guys can scroll down and see if Take Control MSP Anywhere is active. As soon as you change it from TeamViewer to MSP Anywhere, you guys can see it will say pending here. So give it a couple of minutes, and it should be able to change it from pending to active, and the dot will go green from yellow. So let's click right click, remote access, and take control. So now I'm remoting into my machine. Perfect. So that's what we see. And we can go right click, refresh. Okay. On top left we have 3 tabs. Let's go over them one by one. So general. So this tab shows us a default, let's say like a default configuration of the remote client. As we can see operating system, network, CPU, RAM, disk space, C. So we don't have to go back to our remote client and ask them or actually search that up. If we need any sort of information on the client device. We can also chat. That's pretty easy to do. Let's just say, hey, I help you. So let's just say that, and on our remote desktop we should see that message. There we go. It's initializing the chat, and there we go. We have our message. Let's just go zoom in for you so you guys can see it a bit better. Okay, let's just go that way. There we go. You guys can see that. That's perfect. Hey, how can I help you? You can always reply back, of course. So that's with the general tab. There's not. This very very easy to grasp. There's not much we can do here. And in remote desktop, let's just close that for a while. So this is the screen of our remote client. I have zoomed in a bit because, for obvious reasons, so you guys can see, and it's pretty easy to navigate through this remote desktop interface. You can just go, if I need to go up, just hover your mouse up, it'll go there, right, left, and down, of course. So let's just go down, and okay, so I'll go over the couple of buttons at the bottom. So the computer, you can just click on the computer button and you can emergency reboot your remote client. You can restart and shut down as well. Very easy to do that. So if we click on advanced, you can see use RDP, remote desktop protocol, and port forwarding. This is what I was talking about in the presentation. So in the remote port forwarding, like it says here, it allows your local applications to easily access services on your remote network. All you need to do is just go new, and you need to, the main three things you need to enter is your local port number, your remote host IP address, and your remote port number. And it gives you a couple of examples of that as well. If you do not know what these are, just click on these information and it will actually show you what these are and what you need to put in there. So and just hit OK, and you go run application, and you will be able to access those services on the remote network, like MySQL or FTP. We'll close that for now. Let's see, what else do we have here. Let's go to view. View, you can change the size of the remote display, color. You can also change optimize for low bandwidth if the Wi-Fi is not much of a help. You can change terminal session as well. Remote cursor, so right now in this way, our remote client cannot see our mouse at all. So if we want them to see, let's just go show remote cursor, and now they can see what's happening with their mouse. So that's a good one. So let's just turn that off for now. You can also go view only. If we go view only, we can't do anything. We can't click anywhere. We can't do anything. This is depends on the remote client, if they're comfortable with us, how they want us to use their machine. Of course, you can go full screen and refresh image. Let's head over to monitors. So if we have two monitors like I do, so click on one monitors. So this has taken us to the second monitor, and if we click back to monitors and we back to the first monitor, very easy to use. There are a couple of commands as well we can use. You can use send control alt delete, and it will take us straight to the control alt delete. And also bear in mind, I want you guys to focus on something. If I am on this screen right now, and if you guys read this here, it says your keyboard is now redirected to the remote computer. So it actually tells us that when we have control of the keyboard, and if I hover my mouse outside that, it shows us place your mouse over the remote screen. So that's pretty cool as well. It actually shows us the encryption type. We have 2056-bit AES encryption. Also shows us response time. It's 149 milliseconds right now. It all vary from 140 to 200 milliseconds. That's because it's going from our machine, else going to this server in Sydney with the IP address and port number, and then it's going to the remote client. We also have the download and the upload speed as well, which varies now and then. With monitor, okay, yep, already been to monitor commands. You have a couple of basic Windows 8 commands, start menu, whatnot. We have a couple of other commands as well. You can block keyboard and mouse. You can always do that, just in case, because you do not want the client, if you're doing something, if you're doing something important and you do not want the remote client to actually, interfere in your whatever you're doing, interfere in your business, you can always do that. You can go blank screen if you are doing something that you do not want the remote client to see or learn how you do it. You can always do that. For example, if you're doing making a couple of changes in the rage edit, you would not want the remote client to know how you do that, so you don't want them to go back there again and make some changes. You can also lock remote operating system from just a single click. A couple of interactions here as well. Laser pointer, you can point, pretty similar to show remote cursor, and if you click on it, it goes bigger. just to tell the remote client where to click. You can disable viewer shortcuts. You can start recording. As soon as you click start recording, this light over here goes red. What else? You can take a screenshot and you can copy paste. You can get remote clipboard and you can send your local clipboard as well to the remote machine. Let's go over to the last tab up top, the third one, file transfer. I really like the file transfer in this. It's very easy to use. So in file transfer, what we can do is on the left side here we have a local file list, and on the right side we have a remote file list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a file from my local to my remote. Actually, I'll try from the remote to local just to see how that goes. So we'll choose a location here first. Let's just go C drive. Awesome. And so we'll choose it from, let's say there should be a folder, webinar. There we go. So webinar, and this is what I'm going to copy. So all you need to do is just click it, drag it, leave it. There you go. It'll ask you, are you sure that you want to download the first step? And let's go, yes, I do. And then occur, not left, and okay, enable to create local folder. So not to worry about that, but that's how you do it. You just drag and drop. It's fairly easy. And after you do that, you can actually see that the bottom, the files being transferred, and if you have more than one file, you can always drag and drop what in the queue. You can also make new folders. So I'll just go a new folder, and I'll make a new folder there. Let's just name it hi. And you can always right-click, just like normal Windows, delete, rename, new folder, refresh. And the same things you can do here: new folder, delete, rename, refresh. So this is a very easy interface of MSP Anywhere. It's not much, like I said before, you do not need a manual to go over this. Let's just go full screen. Okay, let me show you how that looks. So that's pretty good as well. You can always, bookmark that up top so that always stays there at the top. And to get out of it, just double click on the top bar and it will take you back to the normal one. I will get out of the full screen. So remote desktop, we went over it, very easy to use. Just cancel that out, laser pointer. These are a couple of interactions, commands you can use, computer, general, we went over this as well. So yeah, this is the console for MSP Anywhere. If you guys have any sort of questions, feel free to ask. Thank you. Yep, please message any sort of questions you guys have in the chat or the questions section. That'll be great. So how does this, we got a question here, so how does this replace TeamViewer? This does every single thing TeamViewer does, I believe, and it has additional features on top of TeamViewer as well. It's like I mentioned before in the console, you can actually remote desktop file transfer. It has more features and it's very easy to use as well, easy interface, and it has mobile apps for this as well. So does this answer your question there? Okay, sweet. Any more questions? No worries. Just with multi-monitors with a remote machine display, scale up greater than 100%. Multi-monitors when the remote. Okay, let me just answer this one first. So with you saying you're having issues with the more than 100% display, okay, let's have a look. Let me go up there. Okay, let's go view, size. over 100%. I usually keep it at 90, 100% myself. Let's go 125 and see. This looks good to me. It's pretty zoomed in as well, and you can always hide this for now if I don't want this. I'm not too sure what sort of issues you're having if you are more than 100%, and if I can change the monitor, let's see if I can do that. Let's open that back. Let's change the monitor and let's open something. Let's go down. There we go. Let's see. I'm not too sure what sort of issues you're having with your. Just feel free to message me after this webinar, and I'll be happy to go over those issues with you there. And this must be the other monitor. There we go. So everything seems fine from my side. If we go over, let's go. If we can go over 125 as well. Let's go 150%. Yep. Okay, that seems fine to me. Please come back to me after the webinar, and we'll discuss that issue more with you there. Okay, let's go back to 90%. Okay, so you should be instead. Yes, I do believe we should be using MSP Anywhere instead of TeamViewer now, from obvious reason I mentioned in this webinar, and because it's the price difference as well. It is cheaper than TeamViewer, and it is giving you more features. So I mean, like, why not? Why can't we actually change it to MSP Anywhere? Okay, and the next question we have into Outlook where the cursor and click were not in the AMS place. I had to point the cursor. Yes, you can talk to Taran about the pricing, please. You can always email him after the webinar, and he'll get back to you as well after the webinar himself. So okay, there's another question here. Okay, header to Outlook where the cursor and click were not in the AMS place. Point cursor up and left to align the cursor. Mouse button to actually, with the Outlook issue, I'm not too sure what the actual issue is. Had a problem remoting to Outlook with the cursor. With the remoting to Outlook, I'm sure. I'll get back to you on that one after the webinar there with the Outlook issue. I'm not too sure. I just need to ask a couple more questions regarding that, and I'll actually have a look why that is not working the way you want it. There's another question, how do I access the MSP Anywhere console? Okay, no worries. Let's go with that again. So with that, how do you do that? Let me do that for you again. Let me just close this. It's just in the session. Okay, so all you need to do, if this is the device you want to remote into, right click. Of course, first you need to edit your server, and you go remote access, and make sure it's on, of course. And from engine, you go TeamViewer. From TeamViewer, you go MSP Anywhere, and go down, and you hit OK. And after that, you go to the summary tab here, and scroll down, and make sure the take control is active. It will, after you change it from TeamViewer to MSP Anywhere, it will be pending. So this dot over here will be yellow. So make sure, give it a couple of minutes to go active, and also make sure the agent is 10.5 above. If the agent is 9 point something, MSP Anywhere won't run because it was introduced when the agent 10.5 came out. So double check, make sure that, update your agent, and right click, remote access, and you go take control. That's all you need to do, and this is your MSP Anywhere console. Very easy to get into, very easy to set up, and there you go. And you can always go, view, size, and you can always zoom in, whatever percentage you want. Perfect. Let's see any other questions. Okay. No, MSP Anywhere on the remote client from the dashboard. What spots and uninstall existing TeamViewer install on the remote client, or is this done manually? Okay, let's say can install MSP Anywhere on the remote dashboard. So with the MSP Anywhere on the remote dashboard, that question, Let me see. Can we install MSP Anywhere on the remote client from the dashboard? Let me see. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes, but what I'll do, I'll get back to you after the webinar, and I'll give you a 100% answer after that. I'm not sure right now, so I'll get back to you after the webinar on that. Any more questions? Perfect. We'll wait. Okay, no more questions. So perfect. Sounds good. Thanks everyone for joining in on my first webinar, and thank you for joining in. Okay, bye-bye.